Put that. All those in favour say aye. Anyone against? That's carried. Great, thank you. So now we'll move on to the CCHL draft letter of expectations. Do we want them to sit back? Or, yeah. Do you want to sit back into the gallery so we don't ask you questions and while we're doing it right to you? So we have a number of amendments, but did you want to talk to this first, Linda, or to some of the amendments?
Where am I? So I just wanted to briefly run through the changes since the workshop.
Yep.
The changes that have been made to ask CCHL to present and engage on its strategic approach of responsible and active management to the council. To act consistently with its mandate, its operating model, and always to consider improving health and safety, fostering strong employee relationships and collective bargaining as per the Employment Relationships Act 2000. And to a request about considering board membership, we propose that issues that relate to how the board is structured and considerations for board appointments are done through a revision or review of the council's appointments policy and not through an LOE.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay. No, I think that was referring to Tyrone's one, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yep. Which has been withdrawn. Did you want to speak to that?
No, I mean, I agree. That's good advice and just acknowledging that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Councillor Hanson.
I was just trying to get a sense of, in the past, we've asked for reporting on the lowest paid to the highest paid, and also we've asked for senior executive remuneration restraint. Where is that captured in here?
Senior executive restraint is under the governance title, just towards the end of the paper, the letter, which is about 4 paragraphs up from the table at the back.
Right.
And it's the third dot point. Exercising restraint in the level of senior executive total remuneration, ensure that it is appropriately linked to performance.
Right. Okay. And we seem to. I'm going to put a question in to try and get the trend. I did get it in previous years from CCHL around the trend in senior executive remuneration, and I don't know if that information's been provided. I'm also mindful that in the past, I think we've been told that they're working towards reporting on the lowest versus the highest paid, but we don't seem to be getting that data. Do you think we need to put anything that strengthens our case in that regard?
My thinking was that was embedded as an expectation through their, as an annual expectation, and didn't need to be called out in the letter of expectation every year. I think we could refer that to CCHL and ask you whether you intend, is that part of your work program to report that? Yep.
A number of the subsidiaries do report the top 10%, bottom 10% within their annual reports. We don't do it at group level. We don't collate that information at a group level. And there's also chief executive pay is explicitly reported within each annual report.
Yeah, I understand that. But the problem is that we don't see the trends, and we wait for the annual report to come out. But in the letter that I've got in front of me, I don't see where it says, unless has there been a revised one in the governance section. All I've got is it holds senior executives to account for performance. It doesn't talk about restraint around senior executive.
Under the governance, dot point 3, exercising restraint.
Sorry, I must have a different
Page 417.
It has almost the same wording as what you've got, Yanni. The only difference is about the reporting on the pay relativity trends between lowest and highest, which I think is the point you're making, isn't it?
Yeah,
Are
okay.
you saying that you'd like it done at a group level?
Sorry, I was
rather
looking
than-
at the enduring one rather than the, yeah.
Right.
So, okay, cool. So when would we be in a position to kind of see what the trends were? And you don't do it across the group. It's done for each individual company. And is it done as part of the annual report?
And most of the companies report this as part of their annual report, but if there's a specific trend in recording this data over time, we're happy to pull that together and share that.
Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay.
That'll be good. Yep. So do you want to keep your amendment there? 'Cause we probably don't need that now. Are you happy? Yep. I think everyone supports the intent of what you're saying. Okay, and we've got these two amendments here as well, which is moved by myself and Councillor Fields. So people may want to have a few minutes to have a look at those. Did anyone have any questions or anything else they wanted to raise? So the first amendment is talking about public ownership, basically, about consistent with public ownership of CCHL and our subsidiaries, which we know, and asking to, I think you're already doing that, but I think we just want to make it quite explicit in our letter. And then the second one is around good employer relationships, and there's a bit of specificity there around Littleton Port, because there's been a lot of rumours around that. Okay, does anyone have any questions? Yeah, you've had it several times. Yeah, Councillor Donovan.
It wasn't in relation to these, but it was just in response to an amendment that had been sent through.
Did
By
you
me?
want to talk to that? I think Bede can talk.
Linda, I think, is this through
for-
you?
Yeah, through the
Chair.
chair. It's for Linda. It was in regards to the 20 million that we just discussed offline. Are you able to provide a bit of an update on where that capital's sitting at the moment with the previous amendment that council agreed to transfer that money to Christchurch NZ?
So it's sitting with CCHL in the DCL holding. It's has not yet been the audit hasn't been finished yet. It's under that's under audit office control. We've got no ability to influence their timing. CNZ, as I understand it, won't accept any transfer of that funding without it being audited. And there's the Section 17A review that looks at economic development as a whole, and as I understand it, the chair of the CNZ board has agreed that that capital should stay where it is until that's been completed.
Are we able to, maybe separately to this, just ask for a written update on that? Because I'm a bit confused as to where that's sitting, and I understand that there's not a clear time frame with Audit New Zealand, but I am concerned that we've just signed off a letter of expectation for Christchurch NZ to deliver some work, and I want to understand if that will have any impact on their urban development pipeline.
Yeah, we can, through you, Madam Chair, we can note that and come back with some more information. It's probably not an LOE, letter of expectation matter, that. It's really a decision that's made after a number of steps have been taken, as outlined by Linda. So we can come back with an update if you're comfortable. Yeah.
Councillor Harrison Hunt, you've got your hand raised.
Can you see me today?
Yep.
Cool. That's just going on to back off some Councillor Donovan's question. You may need to take this one offline too. But I'm wondering around the timing of the $19 million that it goes in line with the 17A review. And that's the question I've got is, would it come after the 17A review? Or could it come earlier, if possible, through CCHL?
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, if we can
Take it offline, that's fine.
yeah.
Great.
Got caught.
Okay. Yep. Thanks, Tara. Councillor Keon?
Yeah, just with the amendments, is there any cost implications to those?
I can't answer that. I could ask Matt, I guess.
Come to the table.
Yeah, if you want to, do you want to comment?
I'm slightly reading these live, so it's a challenge to
Nothing like us.
on the spot. I think matters such as health and safety are absolutely non-negotiable. So, whether it's written in this letter or not, will not change our approach to matters such as that. I loathe to comment further on whether there's a direct cost or not regarding this while reading.
Well, there's stuff there around collective bargainings, workforce and stuff like that. I mean, if that has no cost, then that's fine. But if it has a cost implication, it would be good to know.
Well, that's subject to the Employment Relations Act anyway, so they've got to do it.
Where it relates to the Employment Relations Act, I'm absolutely confident there that that should be in accordance with what we're doing already. It's whether it's something in excess of that, which we'd probably have to understand and interpret.
Can I, through you, Madam Chair, what would normally happen here is the letter goes, they consider it and they come back, and if there were...
and if there was an issue, they'd raise it then.
That's right.
Sweet as.
Yeah, so that's correct.
Yeah, this is just a letter of expectation, so we'll get feedback back, won't we? Any, I thought I saw another hand. Oh, no. You're just doing that on purpose. Councillor Hanson.
So I was just wondering what we got to with the cruise ship emissions request.
That's in the letter.
Yeah. Cool.
That's
Okay.
in the letter for considering that and working through the implications and coming back on that.
Do we need to have we set a time frame?
We haven't, but the letter does.
It asks for the pathways, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
and the letter is for the next year, for 25-26.
Right. Because it just feels like we're just repeating previous requests rather than actually getting the action on getting the stuff done.
Yeah, it's a big piece of work.
Well, it's not something we would change our mind on either, so it's probably good to state it. Okay, if there's no other questions, it's been moved and seconded, so I'll put, does anyone want to debate? Councillor, Deputy Mayor.
Not debate, but I just want to congratulate Brian and the team, but particularly Brian, for running such an excellent AGM. I attended that, and there were a lot of people there, and there were a lot of representatives from the unions and a lot of placards, some outside, some in. And the way you conducted yourself, Brian, was exemplary, and you embraced them, you talked to them, you had an open forum, and at the end of that meeting there was, I thought, a really good feeling between everybody. And so I just want to call that out and say thank you for running such a good AGM. Encourage everyone to go next year because it's great. Thank you.
Thanks, Pauline. That was fantastic. Yep. Councillor Fields.
Well, I just want to say, Councillor Cotter actually you stole my thunder. I wanted to reiterate just how glad I feel, and I think I speak for all of my colleagues, just to have you in the chair, Brian, and how well you did handle that meeting, and just how well served we are there. And we've been well served by Paul, and I'm sure we will be by Matt as well going forward. So really, just kudos there. Thank you.
Yeah, and Councillor McClellan.
Thank you. Yeah, really happy with the performance of CCHL. It really feels like the ship has steered its way through choppy waters, and I want to thank Brian and actually. It's a plane ship / broadband thing, and it's. I want to thank Brian and the rest of the team for that. I'm happy with the wording of the amendments, as was alluded to during the questioning. All going well, this is actually the status quo, so there's no harm in us, signalling, what we like to see in terms of good IR, and with regards to the port, as Melanie noted, there is concern. I'm not sure how valid that concern is, but regardless, better to be clear and better to have a clear signal from the shareholder, because actually part of what's gone wrong in the relationship up until, well, in the past, has been clarity from the shareholder. So much better to be open and honest from day one.
Yep. Anyone else want to debate? Okay, I'll put that vote. All those in favour say aye. Aye. Anyone against?
Aye.
Great, so carried unanimously. Was that a no or a yes? Was that an aye, Tyler?
Yeah, it was aye. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, great. Right, and is Councillor Goff online?
Councillor Goff is online.
What was your vote?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, great. All right, thank you very much. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you.
What's that?
Closing karaoke.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. I'll be.
Right, no. Right, we're into closing karaoke.